I'm Sarah Hashim-Waris from the Los Angeles Times newsroom. The South by Southwest Festival, the annual celebration of music, indie films, and interactive tech, kicked off today in Austin, Texas. Earlier, I got the highlights on what to expect on the music front from Times writer Todd Martens. Todd, so there's going to be a ton of amazing bands in Austin, you know, big names and lesser known bands. What are some of the highlights, some of the most buzzed about bands on both ends of the spectrum?
Yeah, it's increasingly becoming like a place for like well-known acts to go and try to like, you know, get some buzz or reclaim some buzz. Green Day is going to be there. Supposedly Justin Timberlake is going to be playing a party. But part of the reason to go to South by Southwest is to discover new artists and see artists I haven't seen before. And
some more of the lesser known bands, Haim, which I love, Rat King, B. Beeman, who are going to be some of the top highlights?
Yeah, I think people, you know, would be curious to see how Haim does because they've got an album coming out in the fall, so this is sort of a, you know, buzzy moment for them. Foxygen is another one. They have a little bit of a Rolling Stones kind of vibe to it, a little psychedelic 60s garage. You know, Bleached is another sort of LA band. They were at South by last year that we covered, and now they're coming with a full album, so it'll be interesting to see like if people swarm to them and what kind of momentum they can get out of this.
Now, on the other end of the spectrum, what do you think is lacking from the roster?
One of the things that's sort of lacking is, you know, most of us in the media, we tend to sort of, you know, we're trying to chase the hot act. So, you know, there'll be 10,000 bands and, you know, maybe you'll read about 20 of them.
And then any themes going into this year's festival?
There's a lot of like talks and a lot of business, you know, a lot of panel discussions based on like Spotify and whether or not artists can make money on streaming services. You know, that was a topic last year. It looks like that's going to carry over. This year, people are still sort of questioning, you know, if that sort of model is actually going to pay off or whether or not it is paying off yet or how soon it will pay off. So that looks to be like another big debate down there.
Be sure to keep up with the Times' music and film coverage from Austin, along with other headlines on LAtimes.com.